Hi, so if you watched my last video, you might have noticed that it was done through animations and, well, stock images instead of a video of me talking. I got tired of looking at my own face and I wanted to try a different format. I thought it would take maybe half an hour, but instead it ended up taking nearly 3 hours, and I wasn't even near finished. At that point, I was just done with the whole project. So I sent in the half-finished video to my mom, and she had something to say about it. So apparently what I did was something that all developers have experienced and overcome some point in their career. What's important about it is not the finished product, but instead the lessons I learned while creating the video. So one of the first lessons is sunny day estimates. If you asked a developer how long it would take to complete a project, they'd tell you a week. How long would you mark down in your schedule? Experienced engineering managers will put maybe 4 weeks. Engineers are notorious in underestimating time and resources. They tend to make what's called sunny day estimates. According to my mom, they assume every day is sunny, there will be no surprises, and they will always work at their top efficiency and not make a single mistake. Then we tell how long it'll take to finish the project. However, in real life, it rains and there are always surprises. Murphy's Law is always true. So almost always ends up taking much longer than our sunny day estimates. Over time, we become more aware of this tendency and become good at changing our estimates to make them more realistic. Lesson 2, sunk cost fallacy. So, a sunk cost fallacy refers to the phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have heavily invested in it, even when it is clear that abandonment would be more efficient. So, if you want to think of this in terms of real life, an example might be if you've put like thousands of dollars into a business and then it's starting to fail. An example of sunk cost fallacy would be the owner going, oh, I've already put so much into this, let's try to save it because I'm not losing all that money. But in the end, they end up losing more than they would have if they just called it quits. So in my case, I had already decided to make an animation, and I have to say, I had a pretty good 30 seconds going. So I wasn't willing to reconsider the alternative, and it ended up taking way more time. Even when I ran out of steam and I couldn't finish it, my instinctive reaction was to dig in my heels and insist on the original approach, even when it meant I ended up giving up before the clip was fully done. There must have been some evolutionary advantage in this approach. We can't change human nature, but what we can do is be aware of it, pause, check, and remind ourselves not to keep doing something that's that pointless. Lesson 3, work as a team. So we've all heard teamwork is great. But for me, when I finally told my mom that I was done with the project, she took a look at what I had and came up with some ideas to simplify the process and actually make my video look pretty decent. But she didn't know how to match the text to audio, so I was able to chip in and do that despite being completely over the video at that point. With us each working on the parts we knew how to do, it went a lot faster and we were finally able to finish a half-decent video. I remember the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Working by myself makes me feel totally in control and that I can go faster. However, I'm limited to my own abilities and energy, and that usually means I end up taking more time than I would have otherwise. Working with others can mean a slower start since we have to explain things to each other and try to get an agreement. But when there is more brain working on a project, it tends to go faster overall, even if it doesn't always feel that way. As you can see, I've learned quite a bit from my last video, and I would like to say I will not be making that mistake in the future, but as I just mentioned, that a lot of these are habitual and they're tendencies that will take time to change. So you might see more of that in other videos, but hopefully I won't be spending 3 hours on it next time. Thanks for watching!